Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How was your day? Keep it safe following the health of COVID-19 pandemic. May you always be healthy and be happy. It is my pleasure to be moderator for today's occasion. I'm Indri Nurhasanah. Will try to host the event until it finish. I would like to thank everyone who play a part in this event. The Honorable, all the lectures of Universitas Islam As-Syafi'iyah, respectful for our presenter of the 6th Student Research Expo, and then I'm proud of all participants for taking your busy schedule to join us today. So, welcome to the 6th Student Research Expo, Get the Brighter Future Through Education, held by English Education Study Program, Faculty of Teaching and Educational Science. To liven up our discussion this morning, we have 8 presenters. They are Putri Nabila, Della Aprillia Rizqiany, Citra Yunita, Nabila Pri Anggraini, Chica Ayu Luftiani, Dinda Salma, Hani Hastari, and Jirapat Petchuen. To make our discussion run smoothly, the 8 presenter will be invited to present the paper until it is finished. For all participants, please turn off your speaker and turn on your camera during presentation. For question and answer session, will begin after the presentation is finished. Please write your question through chat room by mentioning your name, affiliation, and your question. So, let's invite our first presenter, Putri Nabila, with title The Advantage and Disadvantage of Online Learning During Pandemic. Time is yours.
Kamu ngapain? Diam. Bisa diam tidak kamu?
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, the Honorable, all the lecturers, and my beloved friends, and all of the participants. First of all, I would like to thank God for the opportunity for giving me today. And may God bless all of you who willing to take the time to listen to me speak. I would like to present my presentations about advantage and disadvantage of e-learning through Google Meet during pandemic. So here there's gap research. Ideally, understanding technology for children during e-learning, very important, becomes a primary need. But in reality, not all children can quickly respond to technology during e-learning. Starting March 2020, since the COVID-19 virus pandemic, distance learning became rule number one. You are all forced to adapt to learning and teaching e-learning, and it will definitely have an impact on our education in the future. So, here's the background for my research. What is e-learning? E-learning, referred to as online learning or electronic learning, is the acquisition of knowledge which takes place through electronic technology media conducted on the internet, where students can access their learning materials online at any place and time, can also be accomplished with streaming audio or video from Zoom meeting or Google Meet via WhatsApp and etc.
10.000 dah. Mas, saya pas 10.000 sige.
So, what is Google Meet? Google Meet is a video conferencing service from Google. It was originally only available to the enterprise customers, but anyone can now use Google Meet for free. Google Meet is available on the web and phones and tablets for Android and iOS.
Tidak guys, aku tinggal matrai.
Then theoretical foundation. What is the theory of e-learning? So the e-learning theory is built on cognitive science principles that demonstrate how the use and design of educational technology can enhance effective learning. David to 2015, Wang 2012. The theory was developed from a set principles created based on cognitive load theory. Sweller, Van Merenberg, and Pass 2019. So this is, there are various types of e-learning which are classified according to their functions and uses in the teaching and learning process. So e-learning has various types. There's learner e-learning, facilitator e-learning, instructor e-learning, embedded e-learning. So we go to identify the problem. The problem here is we have to know advantage of e-learning through Google Meet and disadvantage of e-learning through Google Meet. Research methodology, design. This research is qualitative research using a descriptive qualitative method to process the data. This search of data of this research are from questionnaire. Place. This research conducted at CB Homeschooling began on 21 July 2021. The sample of this research are middle school students. Data analysis. The data from students' answer questionnaire. Okay, my research procedure. First, give the paper of questionnaire research. Second, the student will answer by their opinion. Third, the sample data collected. So, here's the result from my questionnaire. There's a graph of the questionnaire. 15 and 8%, and 32 and 7%. The result advantage of e-learning through Google Meet. They agree about the advantage of e-learning through Google Meet. So the 35 and 3 and 32 and 7%, the result advantage of e-learning through Google Meet, and 15, 15 and 8% and 60% and 60 and 2% is the result of this advantage e-learning through Google Meet. Okay, conclusion from my research is the Google Meet application is application for video conferencing that is free. Google Meet presents the whiteboard feature. This feature makes it easier for teachers and lecturers to explain the material. Using the Google Meet application can be helped to get it because the display is already in HD format. So the conclusion here, there are 3 advantages of e-learning through Google Meet. First, the Google Meet is an application for free. We can access the Google Meet is free. So the conclusion to disadvantage e-learning through Google Meet. So by research data and by answering the questionnaire, the students agree about this advantage e-learning through Google Meet. There are no data saving features. Many features are paid, requires a stable internet network. For the last, the suggestions. Of course, in order to establish successful online learning, there are first collaboration with the government and the provision of like government gives the quota for education quota. Second, conduct training. Conduct training. Conduct training is for the teacher and the parents. The third is collaboration of teachers, students, and parents. Do the e-learning, we have to collaboration between teachers, students, and parents. Not only the teachers who struggle in this e-learning, not only the students, and not only the parents. Mostly, no e-learning, the parents who has smarter than the students because the parents always do their homework. It is wrong. We have to collaboration between teachers, students, and parents do this e-learning. The fourth is sharing each other. This is the way. This is the way we have to ideally on e-learning. So I think enough my explanation about my research, advantage and disadvantage of e-learning through Google Meet during pandemic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Putri Nabila, for your presentation. And then next, I would like to invite our second speaker. That is Della Aprillia Rizqiany with title An Analysis of Moral Value of Educational Concept from Ki Hajar Dewantara. Okay, time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, hello everyone. How is it going today? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, how are you? I have
Good.
okay. And today I'm the lesson that's about the analysis of moral value from Ki Hajar Dewantara's education concept. Next. And it will be introduction, theoretical underpinning, research methodology, finding and discussion, and the last one is conclusions. Okay, still oriented with the conceptual mastery. It also tends to the intellectuality, but ignores the character education and value. Character declining the value of morality. Sorry, I'm sorry. In this research, the students are helped to gain new knowledge of character education, namely empathy, conscience, self-control, respect, and tolerance. And Ki Hajar Dewantara wants and expects that character education should be integrated in learning process and in each subject matter. Step to the next slide. Okay, the theoretical underpinning, according to Ki Hajar Dewantara, character education is not only theoretical concept as being understood by general public. Character education doesn't mean teach good, bad, true, false of theory, but the implementation of character education, according to Ki Hajar Dewantara, is done to help the development to the positive way, and character education is applied to help the development of children's life. In his book entitled Karya Ki Hajar Dewantara Part 2, Ki Hajar Dewantara known as an education figure, and he expects that the student should be given a positive the methodology that I use in my research. The first one is from type again. The first one is from the questionnaire. Hello, could you please type again? No. Okay. The questionnaire. The questionnaire helped to discover about the strengthening of students' character and in-depth interview, observation with the data collection, data display, data reduction, and conclusion drawing, or verification. And the last one, the methodology that I use is next. Okay, data analysis technique. This research used the analysis technique, the components of data analysis, interactive model for qualitative data. Next. Okay. We come to the finding and discussion. In my research, visited one school of junior secondary school. It's MTS Lazuardi Madani. And the result of visit completed with the interview, observation, hints the importance of learning in strengthened character education for the students. On the sample school, the research found the teachers still prioritize the learning on the cognitive aspects and spend little attention on the affective aspects. Next. And this research gives suggestion about the importance of character education for talented students, which will help them to raise their awareness, their behavior, character, and common sense. And from my research, also, the experiment for this character education is focused on the aspects of hard work, responsibility and mission, love and optimism, caring and humor, and as well as several intelligence. Okay, the conclusion from my research. Could you please step again? Okay. The conclusion, I mean, the things that I want to conclude from my research, almost all of learning process which are implemented or learning process we do in the school, especially in junior high school, junior secondary school, are still focused on cognitive aspect or cognitive orientation. It emphasizes the conceptual mastery, so the learning process is dominated with the theoretical methods. It means less practical. And in Ki Hajar Dewantara's books, many teachings on the noble values are discussed. One of which is the moral intelligence as the part of the character education. It includes empathy, conscience, self-control, respectful, and tolerance. And these 5 characters are implemented through the leadership trilogy method of ing ngarsa, sung tulada, ing madya mangun karsa, tut uri handayani. Nah, the things that I can learn from Ki Hajar Dewantara's concept, we do not only give the theory or just mastery in the class without giving the practical. It will not be a good result. So the good result will we reach with the balance between theory and practice, and we have to and we can apply this 5 character. And the learning based on Ki Hajar Dewantara's teaching or Ki Hajar Dewantara's concept is more effective to strengthen the student's character. The first one, the moral value of Ki Hajar Dewantara's concept is adapted from the original values of Indonesia. And the second one, Ki Hajar Dewantara's values are practical, realistic, and easy to implement. Okay, for the clearness of my presentation, I mean, for the learning, we can make a balance between theory and the practice, and also we have to have a good attitude. That's all from me. Hopefully it will be useful, and I'm sorry for my mistake. The last from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for Ms. Della for your presentation. Okay, for the next, let's invite our third presenter. She is Citra Yunita with title Are College Graduates Really Able to Make More Money? Okay, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, guys.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, guys. I hope you guys have a nice day today. My name is Citra Yunita. I'm a student from English Education Department. So today, I would like to share to you guys about my research with the title Are College Graduate Really Able to Make More Money? So here is the step is. The first is a problem background. background of problem. Educational background is always an important thing when someone wants to find a job. So nowadays, as we know, an agency or maybe a company always look to educational background as the first thing, as a concern. And the second is career earnings for a college graduate. People perception as in general nowadays is think that if you have the higher educational background you have, the better you can get your future career. So as you can see, guys, here is the percentage of college graduate earned and high school graduate. So there is a huge different earning from high school graduate with college graduate. Even from college graduate, the college graduate and professional from the bachelor degree, it have a huge difference. And the next is a research problem. So the research problem is how does people perception toward college graduate related to their future. And the second is there is that purpose of the study. So the purpose of this research is describing people's perception toward a college graduate related to their future career. And the next is theoretical foundation. College graduate who only have bachelor's degree and work full time took home a median 900 more than high school graduate did in 2018. The research shows that those age 25 or older with a 4-year degree earn a median $6,540 in 2080. That year, individuals with just a high school diploma earn a median $45,000. And next is there is some relevant research. The first is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics that proves if workers with a bachelor's degree earn an average of $468 per week, then workers with only high school diploma, and then the average worker with a bachelor's degree may earn approximately $1 million more than a worker without a post-secondary education. And the next is from national report by the State Higher Education Executive Officers Association. Proves that high school graduates earn an average of almost $30,000 per year, and bachelor's graduates earn an average of just over $50,000 a year, and those with a higher level degree like master's, doctorate, or professional average nearly $70 per year. This translates to a significant earning gap over the course of one's life. And the next is, here is the research methodology, research design. The research design is descriptive quantitative, and the participant is, there is the 21 respondents that from of college student and non-college college graduate, and the data collecting technique is survey. And the next is research finding. In this research, the writer used the Google Form questionnaire as a medium to review opinion in general. The participants are the college graduate and non-college graduate of various ages and social status, and Google Form questionnaire. So I use Google Form and I share it in my social media, so my friends or anyone can fill the Google Form. And here is the result. The question is, are you a college graduate who's had work experience? And the answer is, the answer of yes is 38.1%, and the answer of no is 61.9%. And the second question is, do you think that the efficiency of education
Sorry, we can't hear the voice.
hello guys, can you hear me? I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Hello. It's my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can
go
hear
ahead.
you,
Voice
Citra.
okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just have a bad connection. So we continue about this again. Okay. And the next question is: does the company or agency does the company or agency currently adjust the salary value with educational background? And the answer of no is, and the answer of yes is 41.4%, and the answer of no is 28.6%. And the next question is, does college graduate have greater job opportunities? And the answer of yes is 95.2%, and the answer of no is 0, I think. And the next is, are college graduates considered to have better skills in the world of work? The answer of yes is 57.1%, and the answer of no is 42.9%. And the next question is, what do you think about companies or institutions that prioritize educational background in employee recruiting? And the answer of yes is 61.9%, and the answer of no disagree for the disagree answer is 38.1%. So that's all the Google form and the result. The next is the conclusion. So from above that, the result from the Google form that I share with anyone, that conclude that based on the data finding above that have been described, it can conclude that a university graduate may not necessarily be able to make more money, but the opportunity with a larger percentage. So that's all from me. Thank you guys for your attention. I'm so sorry for my mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Citra Yunita, for your presentation. Okay, for the next, I would like to invite our court presenter. She is Nabila Pri Anggraini with title Easy Tips to Learn English Autonomously in 14 Days. Okay, time is yours.
Thank you, Indri, as our moderator in today. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Okay, good morning, guys. Hope you're in good condition in today. So at this time, I will provide an explanation for some point and tips about learning English, accompanied by explanation from relevant sources and real data. The title is Easy Tips to Learn English Autodidact in 14 Days. With a title that I will explain later, aims to make it easier for you guys in the process of learning English and increase their progress in language for 14 days by autodidact. So far, I have seen many YouTubers in Indonesia providing educational content about how to quickly learn English. In fact, it can become fluent quickly only if it is accompanied by consistent effort every single day. Consistency is very influential, and we can start studying with 20 until 30 minutes per day. Before we moving on to the tips and explanation, I will discuss about some quote that we may have often heard. One, work hard, pray harder. In Islam, we call it ikhtiyar. Try something by struggling and earnestly in achieving a goal. Of course, great results require us to lead a process which is not easy. And effort should also be made in earnest, wholeheartedly, and as much as possible according to our abilities. In Indonesian, there is a proverb that rub upstream, uh, that is, swims to the shore. The proverb was later adapted into a contemporary lifestyle, namely work hard, play harder. Two, high skills need practice. I always believe in the praise. Practice can make it perfect. You can because you want it. Accustomed to training ourselves in English, whether it's practice speaking, listening, uh, writing, and reading in English, make us familiar to English. Something that is done constantly will later become a habit. If it is not done, then we will that something is lacking at the time. The more we practice, the more our abilities will increase, and finally, the goal of being able to speak English will not just be a dream. Okay, let's moving on to how to start. Based on real data, I will divide it into 4 keywords. One, desire, learn, practice, and teach. For the first point, we must have desire. Desire or intention is the main thing that we must plant in the heart. Like one hadith as I know, Inamal a'malu binniyat. The meaning are every action depends on the intention. Hadith riwayat Bukhari and Muslim. So, have the strongest motivation within yourself, have a positive environment, and want to learn together, or want to share experiences together in different parts is also okay. Avoid communities whose hobby are playing games, are not being productive, because community is immunity. The searches by Nizam Akbar. Okay, for example, we have a desire to learn English, so that we can speak English fluently, because later we will continue to study abroad. That just for example. Or in other cases, you want to be fluent in English because you want to be useful Muslim, who will later teach the knowledge you have gained to others and much more. Second point, type of learning. The type of study at this question, are you the type of person who needs a snack while studying, listening to music that, for example, or even a quiet place without distraction? Also about how long you can take lesson in a day. Just for example, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or only allow for 10 until 15 minutes followed by rest. The right learning method will greatly facilitate us in learning and then be consistent to continue the lesson the next day. In the end, this habit becomes our routine. The third point, always practice and make it simple. One, enriching vocabulary, because vocabulary is must-have in order to speak English fluently. Learn the most frequently used vocabulary in daily conversation. Two, listening to English conversation, like talk show, maybe movies and podcasts and etc. Three, practice with friend or native speakers. Can be in front of the mirror and anywhere you want. Four, diligent work on English question. You must get used to doing questions such as listening on grammar. And five, make it a habit. Our time, habit, and consistency. The searches by Maudi Ayunda. The last point, the fourth, is teach others. Personally, I try to apply this. Don't be stingy with knowledge, because everyone can play the same guitar, but not the same song. The Searches by Firsa Besari. And I think it's very motivating as a student, friend, and a teacher. The conclusion, the knowledge that we have gained when we study, then we share that knowledge by teaching it to others. That knowledge will be more embedded in our mind. That's what I feel and I believe until now. For now, I think that's all I can say to you. Forgive me if I have some mistake. Hopefully it can be useful for us and we can apply in our daily lives. Thank you for your nice attention, and I am very appreciate you can join by this meeting today. Akhirul kalam. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, moderator.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ms. Nabila Pri Anggraini, for your presentation. Okay, for the next, let's
Introduction. Vocabulary plays important role in language learning. Vocabulary is also an essential skill for learning to read, speak, write, and listen. Without special vocabulary, people cannot communicate and express their feelings both in form of spoken and written and read effectively. The more people master vocabulary, the more they can speak, write, read, and listen as they want. In line with learning English vocabulary, inline running no, masih slide yang sebelumnya. Okay. In line with learning English vocabulary is different from Indonesia fluid form, including pronunciation and spelling. Meaning and the word used in Indonesian, the way of how pronunciation when learn English often find difficulty in learning vocabulary. Choose in this research, the researcher want to inspect the student difficulties and factor question difficulties in learning vocabulary. Next. Research question: how does students to improve vocabulary skill in study? Aim of the research: the ways to practice and memorize vocabulary every day. 100 words. Next. Theoretical underpinning. The definition of vocabulary. Vocabulary is a core component of language for proficiency and provides much of the basis of how learn, speak, listen, write, and write. The importance of vocabulary. Vocabulary learning is very important for people who learn English both foreign language and second language. Type of vocabulary. There is product vocabulary is the set of the words that an individual can use when reading or speaking. They are words that are now familiar and used frequently. Receptive or recognition vocabulary is that set of words for which an individual can access meaning when listening or reading. These are words they are often less well known to students and less frequent in use. Next. For the aspect of vocabulary, there is boundaries between conceptual, polysemy, homonym, homophone, synonym, affective, style, relation, grammar, and pronunciation. And 5, word formation. There is explanation, preformation, blending, growing, compression, and neologism. And 6, difficulties in vocabulary. There is pronunciation, spelling, and complexity, grammar, meaning, tense, and idiom. Next. Methodology. The research was the descriptive qualitative method, and the participant class 11 high school in Nurul Huda, Jakarta. Place and time of the research at a student home due COVID-19 social distancing on July 2020. The research instrument, interview, and questionnaire. Next. Okay, finding and discussion. I have two category to research, and research category 1. From the result of interview and questionnaire, it was found the almost all of the students have difficulties in pronunciating the word, how to write and spell, how to use in grammatical tenses correctly, and the different grammatical form of the word now and affection was one of causes of student difficulty in learning vocabulary. It argues so far that learning grammar cannot be specific for learning and foreign language. In fact, learning foreign language becomes difficult since the target language has different systems for the native language. Further, Arianto adds, that even someone learns to foreign language, he often focus interference when she or he apply he or her mother tongue or first language structure or structure of the foreign language, which is different for his or native language. In addition, the student found difficulties in choosing the appropriate meaning of the word. For example, sometimes they usually overlap the meaning of the word, such as the use of do and make. The students are also still confused in using the word based on the context. Plus, the students are also still confused when why they found word or expression their idiom, like make up your mind, keep on and you. And research category 2. Next. A factor of difficulty. The data from interview indicate the same with the result of the concern as well. There were factors in learning vocabulary. First, the student faced the difficult in pronunciation the word because of the difference between spoken and written in English. For example, when the student pronounce the word muscle, listen, write, honor, and harness. Second, the problem in reaching the word on sound spelling mismatches, and the research said before that is caused by the difference between Indonesia and English. Third, the student found difficulties in choosing the appropriate meaning of the words. For example, sometimes they usually overlap the meaning of the words, such as the use of do and make. Fourth, the different grammatical form of the word now and flexion was a causes of student difficulty in learning vocabulary. Next, conclusion. Based on the theory, the findings, and the analysis, the present study arrived at the conclusion. This study revealed the problem or difficulties faced by the student in vocabulary learning were favored. The difficulties faced by the student were almost all the students have difficulty in pronunciation the words, how to write and spell. The different grammatical from a word known as inflection was on the causes of student difficulties in learning vocabulary. In addition, the student found difficulties in choosing the appropriate.
First, home literacy environment according to expert. First, from Paklisi, Home, Hamilton, and Snowing 2017. Home literacy environment refers to literacy activities or the availability of literacy resources at home which can be used to facilitate children's literacy development. Second, Burgess et al. 2002. The home literacy environment, understood to be a multidimensional and dynamic construct, is characterized by the variety of research and opportunities provided to children as well as by the parental skills. abilities, dispositions, and research that determine the provision of these opportunities of children. Third, Al-Hamadi 2017. Home literacy is the quantity and quality of reading interactions together parents and children who are carried out before the children enters an education institution early childhood. And reading comprehension or reading mastery, according to expert, first No 2002 defines it as the process of simultaneously extracting and constructing meaning through interaction and involvement with written language. Reading comprehension is a complex process including readers' knowledge of vocabulary, the interaction with the text, and their use of comprehension strategies. Second, by McCullough and Jeffries 2007 and 7, point out that reading comprehension means making sense of what readers read and connecting the ideas in the text who they already know. Okay, so correlation between home literacy and reading mastery or comprehension, according to researchers Semi Xiao Ying Wu, perform a result analysis of the effect of reading comprehension. The result is home literacy factors had positive correlation with children's reading comprehension, which means the higher home literacy environment or home literacy environment scores related to higher children's reading comprehension performance. Okay, method. Next method, the method I use is first a review of literature I took from various sources, namely Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and other international journal. And the second, I make annotated bibliography, reading every journal article that relates to home literacy environment and children reading mastery, and then I summarize to get big picture of what the article talks about, and combine my thinking into the topic. By making annotated bibliography, I have a sense of understanding and analyzing the article. After that, I analyze every article and then classify them into the themes. Finding and discussion. It's still on progress, but here, first establishing emergent literacy. By having a good home literacy environment, the children has emergent literacy. What is emergent literacy? Emergent literacy is the term used to describe the reading and writing experience of young children before they learn to write and read conventionally. Second, effect children reading mastery. Most children who has a good home literacy environment, they are easy to understand the text, to construct the meaning of the text. Third, add children vocabulary. Children who has a good home literacy environment and improve their reading skills gets a lot of vocabulary. And the last, parental involvement. Parent has a big role in helping children to increase their reading skills. Quality time that parent and child spend together reading and exploring books is far more valuable and stay with the child throughout their life. Okay, next. Okay, conclusion. So, home literacy environment has plays very important role in children reading mastery. Therefore, it is expected that the parent in Indonesia will build good home literacy environment for their children in order to make their children have a good literacy. So, thank you for me. I think it's enough. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Thank you, Ms. Dinda Salma, for your presentation. Okay, for the next, I would like to invite our 7 presenters is Hani Hastari with title Listening K-pop Music as a Strategy to Improve Student Interest on Learning Vocabulary. Okay, time is yours.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to all participants who have joined in this event today. And I also thank you to Ma'am Husnul Khotimah as my mentor. And okay, next. Let me introduce myself. My name is Hani Hastari from the 6th semester of English Study Programs. I will share my paper entitled Listening K-pop Music as a Strategy to Improve Student Interest on Learning Vocabulary. So please attention. Okay, next. Okay, in this research have 5 parts: introduction, theoretical underpinning, the research methodology and finding and discussion, and the last is conclusions. Next. And first, let me show you the background of the problem or the introductions. English is considered the official language that used in the international world. English is the main communication that used for people in the various countries in the world. English language has the internationally recognized as a universal language. And the second, the large number of new vocabulary and sentence structures that are different from Indonesian makes many students lazy. And this fear makes them dislike and down their self-confidence. And maybe they have difficulty on mastering English. And the next, millennial students in K-pop music is unquestionable, so we can use this strategy to attract them. And the next, how using listening K-pop music strategies affect students' vocabulary learning. And the next, to identify the students' interest in their vocabulary learning by listening to K-pop music. Next slide. Okay. Next, theoretical underpinning. Let me show you the definition of strategy according to expert. Strategy. Learning procedures are learning exercises that must be carried out by instructor and understudies. Warsita 20 and 18. The definitions of interest. Interest in learning may be a feeling of adore and intrigued more in a thing or learning movement without any impelling or comment. Azizah and Wulandari 20 and 20. Okay, next slide. Okay. The definitions of vocabulary learning. Vocabulary learning takes the most part to understand dialect and require to extend the student's capability to get around modern talks. Imliana, Suhartono, and Hussein 20 and 15. And the next, the definitions of K-pop music. Korean music or K-pop can be characterized as a melodic class starting in South Korea that consolidates as an assortment of styles, counting pop, hip-hop, rap, shake, R&B, and electronic music. Bungawati 20 and 17. Okay, next. Okay, the research methodology. I use the study. I use descriptive qualitative method. The definitions of qualitative research. Qualitative research point to uncover different qualitative data with the description of a causes and nuance to depict precisely the properties of a thing, a state, a marvel, but not restricted to information collection, but include the examination and interpretation of that information. Cahyaningsih 20 and 17. Okay, next. The participants are students at the SMAN 1 Garapak Magelang and take 30 students randomly. The research used online questionnaire from Google Form and share it via WhatsApp. Okay, next. Okay. The next is finding and discussion. This study explored how listening K-pop music as a strategy to improve student vocabulary learning. The student expressed interest in K-pop music because in the millennial era, most of students using their social media to find and they can interact with other friends and other friends in the other countries, so using English language. And they can search this K-pop music in the Google or YouTube, and they can learn vocabulary at the same time. And the next is this research interest in analyzing students' interests. We can see the table below. Okay, next. Okay, from the table, we can see that the enthusiasm and very interested students in make English better, interact with other friends from other countries, improve vocabulary learning, attractive member visuals, interesting song, enjoy the song, and can learn Korean language. Okay, next. And the conclusion. It can be concluded that student interest in listening K-pop music as a strategy to improve student interest on learning vocabulary is very enthusiastic, because the millennial student in learning process with something that will increase their interest, especially in vocabulary. And through listening to the lyrics, they will understand vocabulary and English learning. For the millennial students, with supporting media use are Google and YouTube. Okay, I think enough from me, and I'm sorry for many mistakes. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ms. Hani Hastari, for your presentation. Okay, for the next, I would like to invite our last presenter. She is Jirapat Petchuen with title Tourism Through the Use of Language to Communicate. Okay, thank you. Yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
My name is Jirapat Petchuen. Today's presentation on the topic research developing communication skills in English language-based tourism. Next. Abstract. The object of this research were 1. To study English DEM used by foreign tourists when visiting Thailand. 2. To explore the need for learning English for tourism among people in the tourism community. Introduction. If talking about a current economic and social condition of the world, many said at the same time that the change was so fast that it was almost impossible to follow such change will affect the quality process. 1. Study the English pattern and expression that are commonly used by foreign tourists when traveling in Thailand. 2. Survey their needs for English for tourism communication of the people in the tourist community in the country and abroad. Discovery in discussion. Foreign tourists who visit the community's opinions based on general question or conversation with Thai people at the same level are using art for direction, art for private, punching inquiry about tourist attraction and other Thai food that foreigners like. discuss the results of the research. From the above research, it can be concluded that the English style and expression used by foreign tourists to travel in Thailand are simple, short, concise, and informal. Okay, conclusion. A curriculum that can be applied in everyday life. First, focuses on communication such as greeting, invitation, short conversation, description of patients, and sociality, giving advice, recommending places to visit, expand the culture and tradition of Thailand. And thank you to government agencies in Alden. There are many forms of language tourism using language. In verbal communication, we hope you learn the language faster and understand in better. Okay, my presentation is finished. Thank you. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Ms. Jirapat Petchuen, for your presentation. Okay, now is the time for question and answer session. I will read the first question in the chat room. The first question is from Nurhasanah from Universitas Islam As-Syafi'iyah. And the question is, hello, my name is Nurul. I want to ask to Della about the philosophy of Ki Hajar Dewantara concept. Do you think our education today is already applied to philosophy? I want to know your perspectives. Thank you. Okay, please, Miss Della, to answer the question.
Okay. Hello, Ma'am Nurul. I'm sorry. I will try to answer your question. This is about my perspective as what I see and I feel. Our education is haven't done with that philosophy. Why? Because as what I feel as a learner, we still haven't we still doesn't have a good motivation to study, because we just education that we do today or nowadays is just doing what the teacher asks, and without without the good without the without good motivation. I mean, that philosophy haven't done in our education, because the students got haven't got a good to study, especially for example. The rules in our education just doing the math just doing the task of the mastery without the deep understanding of the mastery. I mean, especially yang tadi especially for the philosophy that I have presented, it's not it haven't been used with in our education. So we can use that philosophy for a get good education. We can learn again from Ki Hajar Dewantara as the education figure, how he think deep with how he think about education. Education is not a force, but education is a thing to get bright future, to change our life to be better. The things that I highlight from Ki Hajar Dewantara concept, study must be study it's not a force. Jadi kita nggak, kalau dalam in education we don't need to force the students. We have to give guidance how they can understand, how they can comfort with the learning. That's what I meant. I'm sorry if my answer is not really clear, and that's my perspective.
Okay, thank you, Miss Della, for your answer. For the next question, come from Ranti Ariani. Hello, I'm Ranti. I want to ask Hani, the 7th presenter. Can you give an example how to implement K-pop song in the class? And since most of the K-pop songs is using Korean, isn't hard to choose the appropriate song, especially to increase English vocabulary. How you can solve this problem? Thank you. Please, Miss Hani, answer.
Okay, please give me a minute.
Okay. Is best with Ki Hajar Dewantara's education concept or moral, value, and practical best. Thank you in advance. Please, Miss Della, answer the question.
Okay, I would like to answer. And the question is, what last time? What will happen if we successfully combine the reason education concept, which are most theorist based? Okay, I think if we have combined with that concept, the education in Indonesia will be better than before. Why? Because the education, I mean the result of the education will be long last. Why long last? Why I said long last? Because we have done with a good process. That's the deep understanding, and then good attitude and good morality. So the result, I mean maybe the generation from education, it will be better. That's my answer for Alivia Mutiara.
Thank you, Miss Della.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Della,
Yes.
for your answer.
You're welcome.
Okay, how about Miss Hani? Can you answer the question now?
Okay. I will answer the question. In this class, we can that are full of English lyrics, because in this era, so many K-pop music that are full of English lyric. And for the task we can ask the student to search the vocabulary that they don't understand. So they can search in the dictionary the vocabulary that they don't understand. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Miss Hani, for your answer, and thank you for all your questionnaire. For now, let's capture this moment by taking a picture together. So turn on your camera. Turn on your camera, please. Give me your best smile, or you can give me a best pose, good pose. An operator, please prepare for this documentary session.
Okay, please
Okay.
turn on your camera if you want.
Okay, you can pose anything. Your best pose.
Okay, okay, are you ready, guys? Okay, I just count 1 and 3, yes? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, uh, okay,
Once more, please.
two more.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hey, one more with the first.
One
Okay.
more, yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, done.
Okay. Okay, everyone, due to time of limitation, I do apologize that we have any mistake for this event. Thank you for all your presenters for sharing your knowledge and experience in today's discussion. And countless thanks for all participants for your participation. Dear participant, for your information, this webinar is the first session of the 6th Student Research Expo 221. We would like to invite you to join our next event at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was the end of our webinar today, and hope to see you all the next time. Thank you for your participation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.